Hey, I'm the savior of the broken, the beaten, and the damned. And last week was my first week back from vacation to work, and I was feeling kind of drained every day, and I just kind of wanted to chill, so I didn't really do a whole lot because whenever I was playing WoW, I kind of just wanted to turn my brain off and watch some YouTube videos while I played. So that's pretty much what I did. I spent the majority of the week just farming out achievements in Koresh. So one of the big ones I was working on was the Phase Lost and Found achievement, which is just to collect a bunch of orbs until eventually you get all the items. I thought that one was going to be a lot worse, but it ended up being not that bad. I just pasted all of the coordinates from Wowhead into paste and then just ran around for like 30 to 45 minutes once a day, getting all the orbs. And eventually, after a few days, I got the achievement. So that was pretty exciting. But that was kind of like the main thing I was doing, is just stuff that didn't require a lot of brain power. Because like I said, I was pretty drained throughout the week. And outside of a few bosses in LFR that I did on the weekend, I didn't really get into Manaforge either because I just, again, didn't really want to spend a few hours doing the raid at the guilds when I just wanted to watch some YouTube videos and chill. So I'll probably go back in this week. I'm feeling a little bit better after the weekend, so this week should be a bit better and I should have hopefully more stuff to do, but we'll see. I did do some Mythic Plus this week. I did a 4 Arakara, a 5 Floodgate, and a 7 Dawnbreaker, all of which were timed. The Dawnbreaker, I think we had like a minute left or less before the dungeon ended, so that one got kind of dicey, but was totally fine. Because of those, my Mythic Plus rating went up by 159, so I'm ending the week at 1874, inching very closer to 2000, which I don't think will be that difficult to get within the next week or two. I think for right now, I'm going to be focusing on the 6 to 8 range for keys, because I think that's about where I should be able to fit in quite nicely with groups. When I was doing dungeons though, one thing I noticed is that my DPS was a little bit lower at times than I would have liked. I think in Season 2, after the first couple of weeks, I got it figured out, and for the most part, it was fine. Season 1, I definitely struggled because I did not have the right talents, and then once I figured that out, I was doing fine. I'm wondering if something has changed. I don't see any new builds or anything like that that I can copy, but there were some polls where I was just abysmal with damage, and a part of it may just be that the people I was running with were at the time like 10 to 12 item levels higher than me, so maybe that, but I don't know. We'll see if it gets any better this week because my item level did go up, and I'll take another look at Archon and maybe with some warcraft logs to see if there's something else that needs to be done, but I'm hoping it's a very quick fix because those didn't feel good. Speaking of item level upgrades, my warrior got 8.3 more item levels, so he's ending the week at 693.1. I was able to upgrade my crafted weapon to 720, which I'm very excited about. That was the first thing I spent my gilded crests on. And then my vault had a bunch of upgrades. Pretty much every item in there was an upgrade. I had 3 tier pieces for shoulder, head, and gloves. Then a handful of wrists, which is a bit annoying because I wish there was a better randomization to the vaults, so that way you don't get maybe more than 2 of the same slot. I would much rather stress over taking the right slot this week rather than stressing over which of the 4 wrist pieces are the best ones to take. But I ran 2 sets of sims, 1 on every item as is, and then 1 on all the items upgraded fully, and both times one of the wrist pieces were the best item to take, but they were only about a 1% upgrade. I thought about it for a bit, and I ended up not going with what the sim said. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't, so I don't have footage of this. But I ended up taking the heroic tier shoulders because I had champ legs that I catalyzed to get my 2-piece. I also already had champ wrists in my bag that I was saving for the vault this week, and would have been nice to have a heroic piece, but champ is also fine, and it was an upgrade to what I had. Plus those wrists had my best in slot stats, so that was good. But then I upgraded the legs to 7 out of 8 and the shoulders to 6 out of 6. And throughout the week, I had a few more crest upgrades as well as the cloak upgrade to 720. And with all that, I got a pretty good bump to my item level. So I'm very excited about that. But from there, I'll talk about some achievements. I got 60 more points. So I'm ending the week at 47,260. I got a Flicker in the Dark, which is to open 10 Flicker Gates. There's another one to open 100. So that'll be a little bit of a grind. We've got All the Swords has 2 specific treasures that are also parts of the Treasures of Koresh achievement, so I got both of those achievements. As I mentioned earlier, I got the Phase Lost and Found achievement, which by the way, I highly recommend everyone check out some of the transmogs here because they are amazing, and this is one of the treasure achievements that I think is definitely worth doing because just unreal some of these transmogs. And then lastly, I got Tour of Koresh, which is to get 1000 honor in the zone. For this, as I've been doing with the entire expansion so far, I just farmed out the war crates, which spawn about every 17 minutes. They drop 150 honor each time, so you just need 7 to finish off this achievement, and it is pretty quick. Plus you get conquests, so if you're trying to get gear relatively easy without having necessarily to do arenas or battlegrounds, this is a good way to do that. For mounts, I got 3 more, starting with Blueberry. This is a reward from a short daily quest from Tazavesh. For 7 untethered coin, I got the Acidic Void Creeper. And then lastly, I got the Phase Lost Slate back, which is for getting the Phase Lost and Found achievement. But that is it for me. That's everything that I did last week and everything that I wanted to talk about. Let me know what's going on in your world. What are you doing in the dog days of summer here in WoW? Or maybe you're like me playing some games outside of it, like Battlefield, for example, and playing a lot of that lately. Let me know about your week down below in the comments, and make sure to like this video if you did like it, and subscribe for more videos to come. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. If you're looking for something else to watch, you should check out the video I made where I spent 1 month playing with no add-ons. If you want to see how that went, click the video that's on screen now. Thanks for watching, love you lots, have yourself a fantastic week, I'll talk at you next week.